History is the story we tell ourselves about who we are, yet so much has been curated, trimmed, left in the dark. The highlight reel favors kings, battles, and breakthroughs, while the margins hold the overlooked, the inconvenient, the quiet. In dusty stacks and fragile pages, lost voices wait, unsung heroes, baffling mysteries, astonishing achievements that time tried to bury. As we unearth them, we gain a fuller, more honest picture of ourselves. Join us, and let the hidden chapters speak. Historical amnesia is real. The version of the past most of us learn is a carefully curated highlight reel. Think about it. The history books we grew up with often focus on the same grand narratives, the same famous figures, the same monumental events. We learn about the rise and fall of empires, the genius of generals, and the decrees of kings. It's a history told from the top down, a story of great men and epic battles. This great man theory of history, while compelling, presents a dangerously incomplete picture. It simplifies the sprawling, messy, and interconnected tapestry of human experience into a few bold threads, leaving the vast majority of the fabric in shadow. The narrative is often shaped by the victors, by those with the power to print the books and build the monuments. Their perspective becomes the official story. But what happens when we venture into those margins? What about the footnotes of history? What about the people and events that were quietly and sometimes deliberately erased or ignored? For every celebrated inventor, how many uncredited collaborators were there? For every king whose name we memorize, how many ordinary people lived, loved, and struggled? Their stories lost to time like whispers in the wind. These aren't just accidental omissions. Sometimes, history is actively rewritten. Stories are suppressed because they are inconvenient, because they challenge the established order, or because they belong to people who were denied a voice. Their contributions are dismissed, their discoveries are stolen, and their very existence is faded from the collective memory. But these lost chapters are not gone forever. They are like hidden treasures buried in dusty archives, tucked away in forgotten letters, or encoded in the very DNA of our culture, waiting to be rediscovered. Unearthing them is more than just an academic exercise. It's an act of restoration. It's about piecing together a more truthful, more complex, and more human version of our shared past. By listening to these silenced voices, we don't just learn about what happened. We gain a profound understanding of who we are today. In this journey, we will uncover the stories of forgotten heroes, unsung pioneers, and entire civilizations that have been overlooked. These are the tales that were never meant to be forgotten. Take Mary Seacole, a name that for over a century was little more than a whisper in the annals of history. Born in Jamaica in 1805 to a Scottish father and a Jamaican mother, Seacole inherited a profound knowledge of traditional medicine. Her mother was a respected doctress, skilled in herbal remedies, and she passed this vital expertise down to her daughter, setting the stage for an extraordinary life. When the Crimean War broke out in 1853, Seacole felt an undeniable calling to help. She traveled to London, offering her hard-won nursing skills to the British War Office. But she was repeatedly turned away, a victim of the rigid racial and gender prejudices of the Victorian era. While an official contingent of nurses was sent under Florence Nightingale, Seacole was left behind. But rejection did not mean defeat. Undeterred, she funded her own journey to the war zone. Near the front lines at Balaclava, she established the British Hotel. It was more than a hospital. It was a haven, part clinic, part store, and part refuge for sick and convalescing officers. Here, she put her knowledge to the test, treating not just battle wounds but the rampant cholera and dysentery that plagued the camps, using the herbal treatments she'd learned as a child. Her bravery became legendary. Known affectionately as Mother Seacole by the troops, she would ride her mule into the heart of the battle, often under fire, carrying baskets of medicine, food, and bandages. She was a beacon of comfort on the battlefield, tending to the wounded of all ranks and nationalities right where they fell. One correspondent for the Times of London described her as a warm and successful physician whose kindness saved many. After the war, she returned to England celebrated but bankrupt. Her fame was fleeting. In the grand narrative of the war, her contributions were soon eclipsed by the more socially acceptable figure of Florence Nightingale. Her 1857 autobiography was a bestseller, yet her story faded into obscurity, a casualty of historical bias. It wasn't until the late 20th century that historians and campaigners began the fight to restore her legacy. Her story of resilience, compassion, and defiance was finally brought back into the light, culminating in the 2016 unveiling of a statue in her honor, a permanent testament to the forgotten mother of the Crimean War. Then there's the haunting tale of the Radium Girls, young women who painted watchdials with glowing radium during World War I. They were told it was safe, even encouraged to lick their brushes for precision. Many died from radiation poisoning. Their fight for justice changed workplace safety forever. Pompeii, an entire city frozen in time. When Mount Vesuvius erupted in 79 AD, ash buried everything. Centuries later, its rediscovery revealed a vivid snapshot of ancient Roman life. From graffiti to kitchens, Pompeii whispers secrets of a civilization long gone. And then there's Bletchley Park. During World War II, a team of codebreakers cracked the German Enigma machine. Their work shortened the war by years, yet their contributions remained classified for decades. These unsung heroes changed history without ever stepping onto the battlefield. One dramatic moment stands out: Mary Seacole, risking her life to rescue wounded soldiers from the front lines. She competed directly with Florence Nightingale for attention and resources. Her courage and compassion were unmatched. That moment was a turning point, a testament to her selflessness and strength. In each of these stories, we find a common thread: human resilience, determination, innovation. These lost chapters remind us that history isn't just what's remembered, it's what we choose to uncover. There's always more to learn, more to discover, and more to appreciate about the world we live in.